What is the business model canvas? Well, the business model canvas is a depiction graphically of the business model. The business model is generally how a business carries on its activity to deliver value to a customer, client, or end user, and to receive back the amount and type of value it so desires. So it is a graphical picture that is illustrated with various elements of the business that demonstrate the entire business model. So with that being said, it's important to differentiate the business model and the business model canvas. The business model canvas demonstrates a picture of the value chain and the overall business model of the business together. Now, this model was created by a Harvard professor and consultant, Alex Osterweiler, and has become quite famous as the most well-known rendition of a displayed business model. Now, the business model canvas breaks down the business model into key blocks or key elements all on a single page. So what we'll do is we'll identify the various elements that go into the business model canvas. From there, we will explain each of those variables. To start with, infrastructure. What is the infrastructure of your business? That is, what are the key activities that you carry on as part of the value creation, delivery, and receipt processes? What are the things that happen along that chain? What are the key resources you need to carry that out? That is, do you need equipment? Do you need inventory, raw material, individuals with specialized skills or training? How do you collaborate with partners in a network as part of that infrastructure? Do you outsource certain activities to third parties? Do you hire specific tasks done when they arise in the business? Are there suppliers? Are there distributors on either side of the value delivery process who you collaborate with as part of the process? All of these things together can constitute part of your partner network. Even if you routinely talk with consultants or have someone handling your public relations or marketing, all of this goes into your internal operations and constitute the infrastructure of the business, what it takes to deliver value. Okay. From there, you go to what is the value offering. And in that case, you specifically describe the value provided to the customer, client, or end user. Is it a product, a bit of information, educational elements, explanatory things, software, something of that nature? But go deeper than just what it is. Explain how it meets the needs or wants of the customer, client, or end user. Next, what are or who are your customer segments? That is, how do you break down the group of customers that you serve based upon specific like characteristics that members of that group have? Is it demographic? Is it geographic? Is it the nature of the value to these individuals? Is it psychographic? Is it behavioral? What are the characteristics of every customer client that you serve that you would group together as a commonality among them? Generally, you're going to have multiple segments, with your most promising and generally largest segment being your target market. Okay, what are the channels you use to reach these individuals? How do you actually deliver the value proposition? If it's information or software, you might do that through the internet. If it's a physical product, you might do it through the supply chain. That is, trucking, rail, air, sea, U.S. Postal Service, third-party logistics provider. What are the channels you need to reach those customers? This will vary potentially between where the customers are geographically, which target market you're focusing on within a given channel. So you'll break this down as necessary. Customer relationships. How do you follow up on the customer relationship? Is it a continuing relationship? Is it a one-time purchase type scenario? Are there standing customers where you have routine supply? Are there key customers that buy a large quantity of what you sell or supply at any given time, even if it's less sporadic? So any relationship that you have with customers is important in noting. If customer service or continued relationship with the customer is an important part of your business model, this is where you'll indicate the nature and how you continue that relationship with the customer even after the initial sale or purchase. Okay. Finances. What's your cost structure? How is it broken down? What are your costs driven by? Are they fixed? Are they variable? Are they derivative of what level of service or how much value is received by the customer, client, or end user? That is, how much value it creates for them in the process? Or is it a fixed value, such as charging a fixed value for a product, so you would pay for those raw materials and the labor to produce it, where value driven might be more like a service-based firm, where if you're providing general tax advice to someone may be less valuable and less cost driven than having a specialist focus on international transfer taxes. So that's just an example of how costs may be different for your value proposition, and how is it related to the value received on the other side by the customer, client, or end user. And then ultimately, what are your revenue streams? What do they look like? You oftentimes connect these with your customers individually in the target markets you're serving, but you'll identify the sources of revenue and how they fluctuate, wane, change, or whatever characteristics separate one from the other. Now, if you take all of these elements together, then you can visualize overall how value is delivered and how value is received as part of the business model. It will help you understand the important characteristics, factors that come into play, and how they relate to each other. So when you're making decisions or you're undertaking strategic or higher level competitive planning for your business venture, you'll be able to use this as, once again, a starting point in the process for evaluating your decision options and whatnot. So this is a general summary of what is and how you use the Business Model Canvas.